So it's the November 2018 forecast. We have Mercury turning retrograde, the Festival of Light forecast, and other things. So check it out. Okay, so we're talking about November 2018. We have the chart here, and you can see we start out November 1st. We have Rahu at the very edge of Cancer, about to go into Leo. We have the planets arranged this way. Rahu is still in Cancer, Venus is still retrograde, and joined the Sun in Libra, and Jupiter and Mercury are in Scorpio. Mercury is going to turn retrograde in November. We have Saturn is still in Sagittarius, and Mars is around the end of Capricorn. Mars is going to go into Aquarius by the end of the month as well. So that will end that long transit of Mars through Capricorn, which started in May. So I have a calendar here. This was written for a publication that I read the forecast for called LA Yoga. And I'll just go through some of the highlights from November 2018. You see Mars will enter Aquarius on November 5th after being in Capricorn since early May. So again, this has been a long and unprecedented transit of Mars through Capricorn, and it would feel like a bit of a relief, basically. It's been a sort of hunkering down mentality for much of 2018, at least since the spring. We've kind of felt like that because it's been Mars with Ketu in Capricorn. So there's been quite a bit of defensiveness and self-protection dictating our actions. Now we can expect a more expansive use of that Mars energy, the vitality, courage, and aggressiveness. Again, we have to be careful because sometimes when planets go, when they change after long transit, there can be a sort of explosive, quality. So it could be an explosive nature that comes out. But especially a good time for social activism, especially as it relates to things like politics and things that are related to Aquarius. You see that'll happen on November the 5th. If we go forward, 3, 4, 5, this is actually the 6th. Earlier in the 5th and the 6th, Mars goes into Aquarius. Then November 6th is the new moon day. The new moon is in Libra, which begins a 30-day cycle of compromise, relating with others. Maybe easy to lose ourselves in our partner's needs and desires and get frustrated and snap back against them. So be careful with that now. For the next 30 days or so, you see Sun and Moon come together in Libra, and that 30-day cycle of Libra is about compromise with others. It's also the first day of, or it's the day called Diwali, which is called the Festival of Light. It's also an Indian New Year of sorts. So again, it shows a time when we need to look within toward our inner light rather than externally for that light. And this new moon is in Vishaka, which is ruled by the Lords Indra and Agni, the gods of fire and lightning. And we see that, the moon is here. And so again, that inner light, both in an explosive and in a more, consistent way, is also going to be important for the next 30 days. But it's interesting why we have this new moon is called Diwali, especially when the sun is debilitated and the moon is close to its sign of debilitation. So both lights are at their lowest on Diwali. And the moon is also really dark. It's not just in a sign that's close to debilitation, but it's also burned up. It's the new moon, so there's no moon in the sky. So when you study the nature of Diwali, that's when we have to intentionally bring the light. Rather than just have the light shine naturally, we have to intentionally bring it. And so I'll do a video on Diwali, but this is the astrological or astronomical, cosmological reason for the light, or for this celebration. At least that's my feeling, is that it's that we have to intentionally align with the inner light on this day, because both the sun and moon are at their weakest or close to their weakest now. Then November 10th through the 16th, moon has joined several difficult planets that week, November 10th through the 16th. So November 10th through 12th, the moon joins Saturn in Sagittarius, bringing an awareness of restlessness about our future, our plans and hopes. So this can lead to deeper solitude based on our teachings, which are the qualities of Sagittarius. But we should feel that stress and pressure. Then November 13th, 14th, the moon joins Ketu in Capricorn, which also shows a restlessness and a focus on the problems of the world, which include money, health, family, maybe death itself, because that's the nature of Capricorn, is to feel the pressure of the world, basically. So there's a lot of Saturn energy both of those days. The moon has either joined Saturn or it's in Saturn's sign and with Ketu. And then November 15th through 16th, the moon joins Mars in Aquarius, bringing that frustration with our place in society and with our tribe. So again, there could be some, some frustration as the moon continues. So we're talking about this period of time right here. Moon is with Saturn, so it's going through this transit here, this week or so. You see those first 2 days, moon Saturn, then moon Ketu in Aquarius on the 14th and 15th, or no, 13th and 14th. Yeah, it was the 13th and 14th in Capricorn. Then 15 and 16, the moon joins Mars in Aquarius, bringing frustration with our place in society, with our tribe. This may also gift us with greater discipline and courage in that tribe. So it's a good time to get real about how much we're walking the talk in our world and in our life on the 15th and the 16th, even into the 17th. But by the 17th, it's pretty far away from Mars. So this time from the 10th to like the 16th or 17th, it could be pretty intense with all this Saturn energy, Ketu energy, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Mars. So again, this is a good time to really, reconnect with your purpose. Many times we focus just on the emotion and how something feels, and we miss an opportunity to really feel that deeper lesson, especially in our work and in things, not just our career work, but our work, like our spiritual work, right? Which is also important. It's not just about feeling good. And so then November 16th, Mercury turns retrograde in Scorpio, where it'll be until December 7th, Mercury will be retrograde. So during that time, Mercury will be with Jupiter in Scorpio, as well as the Sun in Scorpio. So a lot of Scorpio energy. It's a good time for focusing on deepening your inner dialogue, right? That's what Mercury is about, is your inner voice, especially relative to your level of emotional intelligence. So we all want to understand things, be able to put them into words, if just in our own heads, so we understand the story of our life. Yet this inner focus may come at the expense of some of life's outer circumstances. This is why when Mercury is retrograde, some of the details mess up, some of our computers and stuff like that, and our technology. So it's good to get your communication systems intact before the retrograde cycle. So we can see it here, Mercury retrograde on the 17th. It starts on the 16th, late in the day on the 16th, then 17th. So you see the retrograde cycle here until, it was December 1st, was it? No, when was it? Still retrograde until December 6th. Yeah, December 7th. So then it goes forward again, and you have Mercury is in Scorpio for a long time. So that's the other thing, is that, Mercury, who is in Scorpio now, is definitely showing a time when we're having to connect with that inner dialogue. And it's really about translating and understanding our feelings and our, what you would call, emotional intelligence. That would be a good way to describe what Mercury, in Scorpio can bring about, right? So, make this a little bigger, 100%. All right, so So November 22nd, we have the full moon in Taurus, which provides a harmonic balance with the current Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter in Scorpio. So again, Mercury turns retrograde on the 16th. Then the 22nd, the full moon happens in Taurus. Again, this is like a harmonic balance with that current Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter in Scorpio. So it's a time of increased passion and intensity with so many planets in Scorpio. We have an exalted moon, right? Moon is exalted in Taurus. So it really helps to stabilize all of the restlessness. Full moon in Taurus returns to a state of balance and rest. So today and tomorrow are good days to connect to the heart, especially through people and experiences that reaffirm your values, your sense of connection to the world. So we are not ultimately of this world, but we've incarnated here, and our first order of business is with the people around us in many ways. So as we can see, that full moon happens right here. This is the 22nd. So this is exalted moon opposite the sun, Jupiter, Mercury, right? So this could be quite, volatile and restless, those qualities of Scorpio, where we're trying to, dig into our fears and vulnerabilities and stress, and it can be kind of narcissistic, right? It's ruled by Mars, can kind of push people away. But this full moon in Taurus can really help to harmonize that, bring that sort of harmonic convergence into the mix. And again, this full moon is aspected by this Jupiter Mercury as well, which brings intelligence, wisdom, flexibility, creativity, humor, so that you're not just triggered and whatnot. So that will also be helpful. And it's a good time to really explore things like astrology and deeper mysticism. Now it's in Kritika Nakshtra. Kritika is the cutter, which is to cut through the illusion of and all the attachments in the mind. That's what Kritika Nakshtra is about. So it really helps to feel settled and stable in your mind and heart, but also to cut through the attachment that comes from all the people and whatnot. So we have a lot of stability in Taurus, but it can also create attachment, and that attachment is very much about it's also a big part of our suffering. So we need to be free from the bondage, but also feel stable in our mind. So again, it's that peace and stillness and contentment, which are the deeper lessons of Taurus, not the attachment, not the form, but the essence. So November 27th, then the moon is in Cancer, joined Rahu, which shows some very deep emotions getting activated. It can be great for meditation and connecting to your heart, but it can also be quite emotional. It can be, especially for those who hurt you or who evoke strong emotions in you. You might, get, easily triggered by them or something like that. So especially true because the moon is joined Rahu. So again, the moon in Cancer shows those passions right here. Moon in Cancer shows that deep emotion and passion on the 27th, 28th. But the fact that it's also joined Rahu shows that stress, that imagined fear, and the tendency to exaggerate and perhaps distort things. And so this whole, these couple of days you want to be careful about getting triggered emotionally and psychologically and stay anchored to the heart. It's certainly good for meditation, for sure, because the emotions will be deep and strong. Then November 29th and 30th, moon is in Leo, aspected by Mars in Aquarius, which will end the month with a lot of fiery passion and awareness. As was said, Mars is now in Aquarius, which is trying to strengthen your relationship to the tribe. So this opposition, brings that lesson into your mind and consciousness now with a lot of focus and clarity. We may see some social movements and uprisings becoming deeply energized now. So this end of the month, with the moon in Leo aspected by Mars here, we could see some, large social, if not protests, but some, some big social movements getting a lot of air and a lot of enthusiasm. So this is a quick overview of November, and it's definitely some big shifts, especially Mars leaving Aquarius. That's a major one because it has been in Capricorn since May. So this is why 2018 has very much been sort of dominated by Mars. And then, also the long Mercury retrograde cycle in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio for the whole month, and even well into December for the rest of the year, pretty much. Venus is also still in Libra. So these, Venus is in Libra till the end of the year. Mercury is in Scorpio. Let's go forward and see how far. Usually goes pretty fast. It goes fast after it's been retrograde, but yeah, the rest of the year, both of them. Oh yeah, I think they both shift right at the beginning of the year. Yep. January 1st, Venus goes into Libra and Mercury goes into Sagittarius. So all through December as well, we'll have Venus and Mercury in Scorpio and Libra, respectively. So I hope you have a great November 2018 and share this with others.